Guys, there are spoilers for this film and this review. So if you don't want to be the butt of the joke, go out, watch the film, and come back. You have more. Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Ticket Tuesday. I'm your host, Ronan TimeHD. So yeah, this is going to be a great time. Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Ticket Tuesday. I'm your host, Ronan TimeHD, and this week we watched the Naked Gun. Very long. The newest reboot. Yeah, it's in the same universe, but reboot of the Naked Gun franchise, starring Liam Neeson, Pamela Anderson, yada yada. This film is a straight-up comedy. Not even really an action movie. It's just a straight-up comedy, parody. This movie was a riot. I'm just going to say. This movie was hilarious. It was very funny. It just had the spirit of the original Naked Gun movies. But before I go on a whole tangent, why I really like this film, I'll tell you why and more back at the review place.
You served 20 years for man's laughter.
You mean manslaughter?
Must have been quite the joke.
They're going to shut down police squad if you do not solve this case.
Rest assured, I won't stop until I've found justice.
What do you want, little one?
Your ass. Nobody messes with police squad.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Ticket Tuesday, Sunday edition. I am your host, Ronan TimeHD, and this week we watched The Naked Gun 2025. Or just the reboot of The Naked Gun, which is if you're not familiar, a classic comedy cop film parody trilogy or film franchise from the 80s and the 90s, but it has just recently been revived for modern audiences. And it is starring Liam Neeson, Pamela Anderson, Danny Huston. They're like the main people, but there's also appearances from, Kevin Durand was, he was a small appearance in the movie. He was Proxima Caesar and, it was a Planet of the Apes movie. I forgot the name of it, but you know what I mean. Then there was also cameo appearances from Busta Rhymes and Cody Rhodes, which, I will say, the Cody Rhodes thing and the Busta Rhymes, honestly, those were two of some of the funniest scenes in the movie, because the Cody Rhodes one is really funny. I don't want to explain the joke here, because I think it'd be better if you just watch the movie, because if I just said the joke here, it would ruin it. Right? I could never say it as it was. I think the delivery was the part of, obviously it was funny what they were saying, but the delivery also was really good. And I don't want to ruin it for you, so go out and watch the movie, and then you'll see why, personally, I believe it's the best joke in the movie. It's very funny. And that's the thing, this is a new comedy, and it's very funny, right? I don't think I've seen a recent comedy that's been this funny, recently, at least. This is a very funny movie, right? And the best part is it doesn't take anything seriously. There is not a single modicum of seriousness in this movie, and that's a good thing, right? This is a ridiculous comedy, and it is absolutely a Naked Gun movie. Because I like to describe The Naked Gun as basically a live-action cartoon, right? If it's funny, they do it, right? There are no laws, there are no rules in the Naked Gun universe. It's just wacky and ridiculous and silly, right? And if it's funny, then they'll do it. As I said, that's the best part, because it's like slapstick, kinda, I guess you could say. There's slapstick humor, maybe a little Looney Tunes humor a little bit here. It's, as I said, it's a live-action cartoon, which I like. I like movies that are just ridiculous, right? I think some of the best comedies, I mean, obviously, you have your witty humor, dry humor, stuff like that, the humor, the smart humor, but I think also some other fun humor is just stupid, right? Some of the best humor, maybe, is just so dumb that you laugh at it. Or you laugh with it, I guess, because laughing at it would be at its expense, but maybe, I don't know, I'm overthinking it. Which is something you should not do with this movie. You can just shut your brain off and have fun with this movie, because it makes no sense, right? I mean, the literal MacGuffin in the movie is called a plot device. It's called a plot device, and it's just really stupid, right? The whole movie is just stupid, ridiculous silliness, and that's the best part. because it's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's just funny, right? I don't think I've had this good of a time watching a comedy in the theater. Maybe like a comedy at home, maybe, but like at the theater, I don't think I've had as good of a time watching this in the past few years. Like, this was a comedy truly done right, in my opinion, right? Because I think, here's the thing. The thing with comedies is that there's no in-between. Maybe, like, if there's just a mediocre comedy, it's not fun to watch, it's not great, and it's kind of a slog to get through. And a really bad comedy is miserable, right? But a really good comedy is probably some of the best times you'll ever have watching a movie. I think that's the thing. You can either, like, that's the thing with comedies. You either have an awesome time or you have the worst time of your life, right? You don't want to have a life by the time you end up watching a bad comedy. Maybe. It depends on your status. But either way, I really do think that this movie's main goal is to make you laugh. It's not, there's no message, there's no nothing. There is like, it is just there to make you laugh, and that's the point of a comedy, right? I mean, obviously, as I said, there are witty comedies, smart comedies that might have something to say, satires, stuff like that. I mean, I literally just reviewed a satire not too long ago that was a bit of, you know, a comedy in of itself, but it was very different. This movie's sole purpose is to make you guffaw, it's to make you giggle, it's to make you chuckle, to do all the different ways to describe laughing, right? I don't know the other words. And I think some of the best parts is, I think the reason this works is because some of the best comedy is when the people are taking it seriously. Like, the people in the story are taking it seriously in a ridiculous situation, right? I think some of the funniest scenarios in anything, really, is when it's played straight, but it's ridiculous. If you know what that means, if you get what I mean. Like, Liam Neeson in this movie, he's plays everything straight. He's super serious, right? But the shit he's saying, the shit that's happening is absolutely ludicrous. But that's why it's funny, because he's like being this serious cop guy while he's like fucking doing somersaults and shit out of a window, right? That's, I don't know. It's just good. It's good stuff, man. So this movie is very slapstick, right? Very cartoony, very ridiculous. And I just think, maybe not, maybe there's like reports that they weren't, but I think, to me, it looked like the actors in this movie, like Liam Neeson, Pamela Anderson, a lot of the actors in this movie, even the extras, looked like they were having a lot of fun doing this movie. Because, as I said, it doesn't take itself seriously whatsoever. And it just, I think their energy, like them having fun and them having a good time, that energy radiates off the movie onto the audience, if that makes sense. I think, like, it's just good vibes all around, I guess is a good way to describe it. This movie's just good vibes. And I think some of the best jokes are the ones, as I said, none of the jokes in this make sense. Like, there's literally, at the end of the movie, like, the final confrontation between the bad guy and Liam Neeson, and fucking out of nowhere, Dave Bautista just is like wearing the same clothes as Liam Neeson, and he's just like doing a monologue, and then fucking Liam Neeson comes out from around the corner, and he's like, he was going to the bathroom or something, and they just literally talk about, oh, I flubbed the lines a little bit, I'm sorry. He's like, oh, you did great, and then he walks off, and then he gets fucking swarmed by all the like fucking brainwashed people, and he gets just, I don't know, they swarm him. It's funny. And then in the credits, which actually, the credits were really funny too, because they were like weird, funny credits. There was one costumer for Liam Neeson and costumer for Dave Bautista, even though he was wearing the same clothes as Liam Neeson, so why would he need a separate costumer? I mean, maybe that was a real credit, it just seems kind of funny to me. There was also the Netflix password, can't forget, they were a very important part of the movie. They also had the eye test thing in the credits. There's a lot of funny little secrets in there. And I think that's a good encapsulation of, I think this movie is just there to have fun, right? It's there to have fun, and I like that, right? Not every comedy needs to be super smart. Not every comedy needs to have a bunch of, like, big brain humor to make you laugh, right? I mean, I think personally that I think ridiculous humor is a lot more accessible than, I mean, I do like smart humor, right? Not saying that I don't, but I think a movie like this, while comedy is one of the most subjective things out there, I do think comedy like this is certainly more, as I said, accessible to more people, you know? Because, I mean, you don't really need any big understanding of anything, as I said, to just turn your brain off and enjoy it. And I think that's why, I think it's a dumb fun movie, right? I love dumb fun movies. I think if you've watched my other videos, you know, some dumb fun movies are some of my favorite movies that I've reviewed, that I've watched. You know, I love those kind of movies, and I think this movie is just, there's not many like it. You know, I can't really think of any modern comedies like The Naked Gun. I really do think that comedies like this have a place. I mean, hell, if there are comedies like this out there, please let me know in the comments. Let me know. Are there more like Naked Gun adjacent, like, you know, living cartoon movies like this? I'd love to know. I'd love to know because I'd like to watch them, right? Leave it down in the comments, please. And I just love this style, right? I like, who doesn't like, you know, cartoony slapstick humor? I feel like it's fun. It's funny and everything else. But I'm not just gonna keep ranting about that. Now, would I recommend this movie? I think so. I think this movie is a riot, right? I personally think that this movie was hilarious. I was laughing all the way through it. And I think if you can just sit down, turn your brain off, and watch a stupid, dumb, fun comedy and have a good time. If you liked the previous Naked Gun movies, I think you will love this one too. It's Naked Gun, right? I've seen them, and yes, this movie is worthy to call itself Naked Gun, is what I'm saying. So yes, I would recommend for Naked Gun fans, for, you know, comedy fans, you know, I guess slapstick comedy fans, ridiculous comedy fans, whatever, all the adjectives. But with that being said, what would I rate this movie? I don't know if this is a little overrating, but I don't care. I think it's this good. I think The Naked Gun 2025 is an 8 out of 10. And, yeah, I think I've said what I need to say. Thank you for some peace. So, guys, if you like this video, share with friends, subscribe, turn those notifications on, comment down what you liked it, but you guys know how it goes. I didn't really mean to say that. What I really meant to say, so if you guys hated this video, unsubscribe, dislike it, and shame me in the comments. And I've earned my G off to eat 5 chili dogs. Hopefully I don't ruin another shoot. Pointing every day, pointing. So there's actually a scene in this movie, which I guarantee I already talked about, but it's the funniest joke in the movie, and it just so happens to have a wrestler in the like main thing of the joke, and I'm like, wow, I know that guy. That's Cody Rhodes. I know him, and it's not like he's just a nobody. He's like fucking top babyface in the company, so it's pretty good. It's pretty good. He's in the Street Fighter movie too. I don't know. He's getting acting roles. So I'm just saying, it's getting crazy out here. It's getting crazy.